Today, I'm diving into the F2 Ultra by xTool and its deep engraving capabilities on brass. This machine has a 60-watt MOPA laser, and engraving metals is its specialty. I've also had the pleasure of testing its predecessor, the F1 Ultra, and it used to take anywhere from 2 to 6 hours to deep engrave a brass stamp or a coin, whereas the F2 Ultra is marketed at being able to do this in about a fifth of the time. This is a game changer with regards to being able to make and sell brass products with xTool. This video will cover 3 different projects. First, deep engraving on a brass stamp that can be used for marking leather or clay. Second, a brass stamp that can be used for embossing a wax seal. And finally, a brass coin with a depth map engraving. I'll be covering how to set these projects up in xTool Studio software, what settings to use as a baseline for your own projects, and how long each one takes in real time. For our leather stamp, I'm loading a brass blank into the machine. Most brass stamps remove material all the way up to the edge, so the laser will ever so slightly overflow your material and engrave the surface it's sitting on. I like to use the underside of the cut plate or a scrap piece of sheet metal underneath the material. All right, now we're over here in xTool Studio software, and before we can start editing any settings, we're going to add something to our canvas. Let's just add a simple circle since that is the shape of our stamp. Doesn't matter where this is at, you'll notice now that we can define some settings. Now, the default mode is process on a flat surface. And while a stamp is technically starting out as a flat surface, we want to do more than just changing the surface color or engraving just one small little layer. So what we want to do is change our mode to embossment. This is kind of easy to miss in this modal if you don't scroll down, but you'll see embossment here, and this is for deep engraving or cutting all the way through metals. We're going to switch this to insize, and we're going to see that we have some options here that are pretty standard: number of layers, power and speed, and resolution. But even more importantly, we have this descend at the z-axis. When I enable this, we're going to see 2 more options that define how much the z-axis or the focal length changes of the laser after every number of layers engraved. So this is telling me that it's going to move 0.01 millimeters after every one layer, so after every layer. This is a setting that you kind of have to play with every material that you're using, but once you dial it in, this becomes really powerful because it allows the machine to dynamically refocus itself as it removes material from the job. So I'm actually going to switch this material over to wax seal stamp, apply that, and it's going to let me choose some of my pre-made settings. I have brass stamp deep insize here saved, and you're going to see the settings that I like to use for deep engraving a brass stamp. So the number of layers is kind of arbitrary depending on how deep you actually want to engrave. I find that this gets me to around 2 millimeters, 1 or 2 millimeters of depth with brass. I run my machine at a power of 90. You can go higher than this. I don't find that it's necessary. But again, a number that you want to play with, most likely above 85 and under 100. I like to run a speed of 750, a 300 resolution, 15-degree engraving angle, a pulse of 500 nanoseconds, a frequency of 60, and I'm moving the z-axis or the focal length down 0.01 millimeters after every 10 layers. So let's start to actually design our stamp. Let's say we want our stamp to be the letter S. Now, once I apply this S to my canvas, I have to choose insize again, and then I need to choose the setting that I want to apply. It's going to auto apply the last setting that I used, so we're okay there. And this circle is representing my stamp. So my stamp is a 20 millimeter by 20 millimeter circle. So I'm going to get that perfectly sized. I'm going to also center this on the canvas. I really want to make sure that this is centered because of the way that the F2 Ultra works. The laser head is actually stationary and moving, instead of moving left and right and up and down, it's moving at on a gantry head, so it's moving at an angle. And so if you have this kind of off in random areas of the bed, you can get some weird edges, especially with deep engraving. So we want to make sure that this is perfectly in the center. Then if I want my S, let's go ahead and change this color here so we can see it. If I want to create an S stamp, what I would do is put this right in the middle. Again, I can just align this to the center. And what's going to happen right now is just going to engrave all of this, and you're not going to see anything. We want to actually have this S end up being raised in the end. So we actually need to remove all of the blue area. So if I open up my layers palette here, you'll see I have an S and a circle. And if I select both by shift clicking or just dragging my marquee around both shapes, I can come up here and choose that I want to subtract the S. So now the machine is going to only engrave the blue area, leaving the S raised on the brass stamp. Now, if what you're engraving is not horizontally symmetrical, you need to make sure that you horizontally reflect your stamp, because when you stamp something, it's going to stamp the reverse of what you see. So now that we have this dialed in, we will choose to frame this. And now we can precisely align our blank with the design. You'll see that the blue laser guide shows us that the design will go close to the edge of the material, but not bleed over all the way, which means that there might be a sliver of material left along the edge. To avoid this, I'll scale up our design about 1% and trace again. And now you can see the blue laser is hitting the base plate below, and we're ready to engrave. For this job, I'm going to use my own personal logo to engrave a stamp, and when we process this, we'll see about how long this is going to take, and that's going to be under 30 minutes. So we'll go ahead and press start and get this going. For this first pass, I'm showing you a recording in real time to give you a sense of what 750 millimeters per second looks like. This is going to repeat itself for 100 layers over just 24 minutes. You'll notice when it's sped up that each pass engraves at a slightly different angle to help prevent hot spots during those 100 passes. When it's done, the engraving lines from the final pass are really visible, and something that would likely transfer to our leather or clay if stamped hard enough. So we're actually going to head back over into xTool Studio before actually removing our stamp from the base plate. We're going to turn off our design layer and turn on a layer that is the exact same size as our design, but a solid shape. Now, one little trick in xTool Studio, or a tip, is that just because you hide a layer does not mean that it's preventing it from being output. So we're going to turn that off, head back over to our solid shape, and enable its output. Now, the reason we have this shape is kind of represented by the saved name of this setting, which is a cleaning pass. And this is going to be using the MOPA laser, a pretty low power, 50, and a speed of 4,000. And you'll see that it's only going to be doing one pass. So this is running very quickly at a medium power only once. So it's going to be quick. If I process this, you'll see that this is only taking 2 seconds. And the reason we do this pass is to remove any kind of soot that exists on the surface of the stamp and smooths out any rough edges. Like I said before, this is only going to take a couple seconds, so don't blink. Now I mentioned this is only going to take one pass, but I like to do 2 for good measure if I see any dark spots. And now this is ready for me to remove from the bed. Now if we look closely, you're going to see around the edges of the design, there's a very small burr that's sticking up from the smooth surface of the stamp. So we're going to do some post-processing on this with some high grit sandpaper. I like to use an 800 grit diamond sanding pad and just rubbing that surface smooth on there for a few seconds, and you'll see just how shiny that gets, takes down any high burrs, and this is ready to go. To use the stamp, I'm screwing it onto its wooden handle and pressing it firmly into a sheet of leather. This takes a ton of force, so ideally you would use a leather stamp press. This is pretty soft leather, so it'll work for the purposes of this video. Now our wax stamp starts out just like our leather stamp did, with just one difference. With the wax stamp, we actually want to remove only the logo versus the material around the logo. So our design is only this little piece, but how do we center this directly on the stamp? on the bed of the machine. I like to have a shape that is the exact same size of the stamp and using that to trace. So we're going to go ahead and frame that. And now we can place our brass material perfectly in line with our framed design. Now we'll head back into xTool Studio, disable the output of our alignment layer, and click over to our design layer. You're going to see that we're using the exact same settings as we did for the leather stamp, with 100 layers at 90% power at a speed of 750. Now, our leather stamp was quite deep, so we could probably get away with half this number of layers, but we can always stop the job whenever we want. So I'm going to set this to 100 layers. Go ahead and process this to get a sense of how long this is going to take. See, this is only going to take 6 minutes because it's a much smaller design, and we'll go ahead and start this. Now, just like the leather stamp, I'm showing this first pass in real time and subsequent passes sped up quite a bit. And you'll see again that these are engraving at a slightly different angle with every single pass. Once again, we'll head back into xTool Studio, disable the output of our design layer, and turn on the cleaning pass layer. These are the exact same settings as I used with the leather stamp. Again, using the MOPA laser, a power of 50 and a speed of 4,000 with just a single pass. Go ahead and process that. You'll see again that this just takes a couple seconds, and we'll start that. And again, this is just taking off any soot and sharp edges that might exist. And this is now ready for some post-processing. Just like I used on the leather stamp, I'm using an 800 grit diamond sanding pad to just take off any rough edges that might still exist. And I'm doing a couple passes at this since there's a lot more surface area on the wax stamp. And this is ready to go. To use this stamp, we're going to melt some sealing wax in a pool that is about the same size as the stamp, so that the edges of the stamp are fully surrounded. Once we have enough melted, the stamp is pressed firmly and evenly into the wax, immediately cooling and solidifying the wax against the cool brass. This was a pretty deep engraving. We probably could have gotten away with about half the number of layers, meaning we could have engraved this in just a few minutes with these settings. For a brass coin that is 3D engraved, actually start in Blender with a 3D model and converted it to a 3D depth map using a tutorial that I'll link down in the description. Whenever you bring a depth map with a PNG or JPEG into the software and choose embossment mode and blank coin and apply that, you're only going to get one option, and that is to emboss. You're also going to see that there's some predefined settings that is going to show you that you're embossing a coin. And inside of this drop-down menu, you're going to see a fiber IR reference. And if we choose that, you'll see some predefined settings from xTool. This is 256 layers, full power, and a speed of 300 millimeters per second. Now, if I process this, and we see how long the estimated time is, it's probably going to be quite long. Yeah, almost 8 hours, which is kind of insane. What I've done is I've actually created a preset called Quick Coin, and this is something that is going to be a lot quicker. Still, it's going to take some time, but you'll see that the number of layers is only 100, a little bit of a lower speed, 90, and 750 millimeters per second, so a bit faster. And if we process that, see that this gets all the way down to just over an hour. So let's go ahead and head back and frame this so we can align our coin perfectly with our design. Then we head back into xTool Studio and go ahead and process this again and start this job. And again, I'm showing the beginning of this pass in real time so that you can get a sense of how long this is actually taking. And this is actually going at the same speed as the stamps, but it feels a lot slower because the coin is about triple the surface area. The design is not going to really reveal itself until closer to the 80 to 90 layer mark. And you can see how this changes over time because of that 3D depth map. And once this is done with the 100th layer, we're going to run that exact same cleaning pass as we did on the stamps. Now at this stage, there's not a huge amount of visual depth, especially because we kind of did a quick version of a 3D engraving. But we can really bring the design out with just a little bit of post-processing with some steel wool rubbed over the coin for a few passes. And here's the final result after all the polishing and cleanup. And that wraps it up for this video. If you're still watching, I hope that means you picked up on a few tips and tricks for deep engraving brass on the xTool F2 Ultra.